scary truth about Haaland nobody knows.
I think Haaland is very intelligent in the way he's playing. He doesn't touch the ball more than he needs to.
Yeah, he was very quick, aggressive, like very direct.
Definitely in front of goal, he's scary. Everyone knows his goal records.
He doesn't celebrate goals, he absorbs them. 52 goals in a single Premier League season, a record so absurd it should have broken the sport's algorithm. Yet somehow, it didn't. Because with Haaland, the numbers are the least frightening part. The scary truth? He's still evolving. Every generation gets a striker who changes the rules. In the 2000s, it was Henry, then Ronaldo, then Messi. But Erling Haaland, he's not rewriting the rulebook, he's shredding it. With a 1.08 goals per game, a body built like a Norse titan, and the emotionless calm of a soldier on a mission, Haaland doesn't play football. He executes it. Yet behind that mechanical dominance lies something darker. An obsession, a silence, a pattern even Pep Guardiola calls unnatural.
His movements in the box is probably some of the best we ever seen.
Absolutely. At his age, no one can compete with him.
So the question isn't how he does it, it's what he's becoming. Because the more we study Haaland, the more we realize he isn't just football's future, he might be the game's final form. In this video, we will talk about the scary truth about Haaland nobody knows. Another season with the same Erling Haaland. He has made the hardest task in football look easy, scoring goals. If you tried to design the perfect centre-forward from scratch, you would end up with him. Height, power, timing, hunger, every element is built for one purpose: to find the back of the net. From the moment he landed in what many call the toughest league in the world, the Premier League, he scored for fun. It didn't matter if it was the League, the Champions League or the FA Cup, the result was the same. Haaland would score. This is a player who has done it everywhere he's gone, from Norway to Germany to England. No matter the league, no matter the opposition, he always finds a way. Pep Guardiola once said, "You cannot stop him. You can only hope he misses." Last season, he averaged a goal every 72 minutes. Numbers unheard of in England's modern era. But here's the weird part. Haaland doesn't touch the ball much. On average, less than 20 touches per game, fewer than most midfielders get in 5 minutes, and still, he destroys entire defenses with 2 or 3 movements. How? Sometimes his plan is to disappear to draw defenders away, to open lanes for Foden, for Doku, for Reinders. Defenders can't read what isn't there. Then, in a blink, he's back again at the near post. A single step and it's over. But the scary truth is, it's a calculated strategy. He has trained his brain to map angles and distances before the ball even arrives. Former teammates Matt Hummels once said, "He moves like he knows the future." Coaches tracking Haaland found a strange phenomenon. His acceleration curve mirrors that of a 100-meter sprinter, but combined with an elite striker's spatial IQ. That's called efficient football. And that's what frightens defenders most. He's emotionless, not cruel, not cocky, just surgical. A footballer who doesn't play for art, but for execution. And if this is what he's doing at 25, what happens when he's at his prime? In football, numbers don't lie, but they also don't tell the full story. And that's where Erling Haaland becomes a paradox. He's a player who breaks records faster than can be tracked, yet somehow he remains underappreciated. Last season, Haaland finished among the top 10 scorers in Champions League history, before turning 25. He became the quickest player in Premier League history to reach 50 goals, shattering the previous record by a mile. And still, the focus wasn't on what he achieved, but on how few times he touched the ball. Less than 20 touches per game, the critics said. Too quiet, too robotic, too dependent on service. But here's what they miss. At Manchester City, his plan wasn't to touch the ball. It was to bend the geometry of the game. Still, comparisons keep haunting him. Harry Kane, the playmaker striker, Kylian Mbappe, the artist athlete. They glide and create. Haaland? He destroys. Still, perception clings to the old frame, that he's a poacher living off service. But what people forget is that he used to be the opposite. Back in Norway, long before the goals and the headlines, Haaland was known for something completely different: his skill. At 15, playing for Bryn FK, he was a slender, creative forward, all technique and imagination. Too weak to bully older opponents, he survived by thinking faster, moving sharper. Those early years shaped the striker we see today. That's why, inside the box, he reacts half a second earlier than most defenders even turn. Even then, the criticism was the same: too raw, needs more coordination, can't sustain it. He heard it again at Molde, where he scored 20 goals in 50 appearances before turning 18, including 4 in one game. Scouts remarked he needs to develop physically. He's not ready for the next level. So, he built himself, literally. Haaland transformed his body, strength, speed, endurance, until it became a weapon. That work led him to Red Bull Salzburg, where his explosion was unlike anything Europe has seen. 28 goals in 22 games, 5 hat-tricks, the first teenager ever to score in 5 consecutive Champions League matches. He was literally rewriting pace records, acceleration metrics, and recovery times. By then, the machine had formed. But what no one saw was that inside the numbers, the old Haaland still lived. The skinny kid from Bryn who loved to create. That's the duality that defines him. He's part robot, part artist, both misunderstood. Every moment, every sprint, every finish is a reminder. He's not trying to entertain you. He's trying to end you. You see, Haaland is a phenomenon, built like a Norse warrior, programmed like an algorithm. But here's the scary truth. His power doesn't just come from genetics or good coaching. It's from an obsession, an almost inhuman hunger that blurs the line between passion and madness. Behind those ice-cold blue eyes is a player who studies his craft like a scientist. At Borussia Dortmund, his GPS data showed top speeds that rival Olympic sprinters, 36.3 kilometers an hour. Yet he's 6'4" and over 90 kilos. That's not normal. In Manchester, analysts revealed he has one of the lowest number of touches per goal in Premier League history. Fewer touches, more damage. Efficiency so ruthless it almost feels mechanical. But the machine has its cracks. Some insiders whisper he's too robotic, too detached. A man so consumed by numbers, diet, sleep, and recovery that he sometimes feels alien even to his teammates. One former coach said, "He's like a cyborg built for goals." But even cyborgs need to feel human. That's where the paradox lies. Haaland's dominance might be his greatest weakness. When his rhythm breaks, when injuries, tactics, or emotions get in the way, the whole system trembles. Pep Guardiola once hinted at this fragility. He's special, but he still has to learn to move with us. And yet, every time we think we've figured him out, he evolves, faster, leaner, colder, like a predator that learns from every failed hunt. Maybe that's what makes Haaland terrifying. Not his strength, but his silence. Because somewhere deep down, you sense this story isn't peaking yet. It's loading. For all the goals, the records, and the thunderous headlines, there's a side of Erling Haaland few ever see. Behind the machine-like precision lies the unbearable weight of expectation, the price of perfection. Every touch, every run, every miss is dissected by millions. And that's the haunting thing about Haaland. He's not chasing greatness anymore. He's defending it. At just 25, he's become football's ultimate benchmark. In his debut Premier League season, he shattered records with 36 goals in 35 games. So remarkable that even Premier League historians paused to recheck the numbers. But with that dominance came something darker. The pressure to stay superhuman. And that's where the storm begins. Teams now study him like a science project. Defenders double up, midfielders block his runs, analysts break down every move. His ruthless efficiency, once unstoppable, starts to look predictable, if only for a moment. But behind the stats is a real man, trying to balance fame with focus. Friends say he's both funny and distant. He meditates, listens to old Norwegian songs, and follows a strict nightly routine that feels almost monk-like. It's the human code behind the monster. The quiet fire that keeps him going in a sport built to break its heroes. Still, the question remains, how long can he sustain this pace? How long before the pressure destroys the power? Because right now, as we speak, Haaland stands on the edge of his next evolution. More complete, more calculating, more ruthless. The world has seen the goals, but not the storm that's still brewing behind that cold stare. So what happens when the most feared striker in football decides he's still not satisfied? And when that day comes, who, if anyone, can stop him? Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep watching such amazing football videos.